Don't believe the dogma, and there is only one truth, and that's do what works for you. So I just want to say, first of all, Merry Christmas, guys, and welcome. It's Ryan from Revive here, and I just want to talk about how people are just getting so caught up in the dogma these days when it comes to nutrition and health, and generally it applies to all aspects of life. But with nutrition and following diets, they're almost becoming like a religion, almost like a cult. If you follow, if I mean, you got the vegans having a go at the people back paleo, and then you got people on the Ornish diet, and you got the low fat diet, and it's just like people are taking it like a religion. It's almost like trying to tell, when you try and tell a vegan that maybe they're not right, or you've helped people. For myself, I've helped vegans that have been vegan for 5, 10 years come to me, their periods stopped, they've got bags under their eyes, their hair's falling out, they're in terrible health. One of the interviews I did with Leah Keith, where it goes into big detail about this. You try and tell a vegan that when they're ill that they maybe have to add some meat in or some eggs, and it's almost like trying to tell a Muslim to become a Jew or a Christian to become I don't know, a Buddhist, for example. They're holding on so tight to these beliefs, and it's almost because it's like a feeling of belonging. It's almost similar. You get similar in the fitness industry as well, with people do CrossFit, etc. And people, when people have a go or say something against CrossFit, they take a real offence, even if the person talking about CrossFit hasn't got a problem with CrossFit. They're just talking about every aspect, because it's the same as American football. You can say things in CrossFit aren't some things are brilliant, other things aren't. Same as American football or cricket, etc. When it comes to diet, I want people just to realise that you've got to do. There's only one rule, guys. Do what works for you, and forget everyone saying you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Because I said before, I know some people out there. One guy I interview out there, we get on really well. Staunch vegan. I'm not myself. I know that going vegan can be greatly beneficial for a lot of people. It's the same similar how some people get great results going paleo, people get great results going vegan. Is it because that one diet's really much more beneficial than the other one, or is it because when they went paleo, when they went vegan, what they did was, first of all, they started buying all organic produce. Then they started cutting out refined and processed foods. Then they dramatically reduced their sugar intake. Then they probably stopped drinking. And they cut out caffeine, soy, pasteurized dairy. They cut out table salt and white flour, for example. It did all these things, and this is both sides of the scale, going vegan to paleo. They both did all these things, and all of a sudden they start to feel a lot better. Then later on down the line, they might have become a cropper, they might have hit a brick wall, and that's when you need to start to understand, or maybe work with someone who understands these things, so you can start tweaking the diet. But initially when someone goes vegan, it's one of the most beneficial things you can do for your body, because most people are overeating processed toxic meat, factory farmed animals. 80% of the world's antibiotics are used on factory farmed animals. That should tell you about the quality of them and how toxic they are. They're also eating conventional vegetables, sprayed with herbicides, pesticides, larvicides, insecticides, rodenticides, and grown with chemical fertilizer. They're doing all these things, but they might even be smoking, etc. Whatever they're doing, they cut all that out. And you go vegan, you take away the meat as well. And you're literally giving your body a cleanse for, I've seen people do it for a month, 2 months, 3 months, boom. I remember I did it for myself about 4 months, and I hit the brick wall. Then I started to feel really tired. I started to lose my sex drive. I was like, and this is what you've got to do for yourself, guys. You've got to experience it. This is why when we go for our programs, we tweak and we go in we try different things and see how you feel and how your body responds. And we don't just see how it responds after one day, because you can go through a little healing crisis, and your body might take a little bit of a while to adapt. But we test everything out, and we do it through a strategic plan. And we're always fine-tuning things and speaking to each other and saying what's going on. But this is what I just want to say to you guys. Don't believe in the dogma. You go to nutrition. I mean, I've been to quite a few. And I always say to it's a very few nutritionists out there that I go, he looks good or he looks well. Even health coaches, you go to conventions, and a lot of them are fat, overweight, sick. They've got terrible skin, and they're actually as broken as their clients are dealing with. How many people I look at in the health industry and go, you know what, they're in good shape, their skin looks good, they're healthy, they always seem to be promoting the right stuff. It's few and far between. They are out there, but they're few and far between compared to a lot of people who are promoting stuff and they're doing it wrong. They just don't look great. So I always say it's not all about look, because obviously someone can look good and be internally very toxic. But when people are promoting what they're doing, if they're actually living the right life and getting it right, you'll see it in their physique, their skin, their stature, the way they can think, the way they can come across, and it's huge. But this is just what I want to say to you today, guys, okay? Ignore the dogma. Do what works for you. Try things out. Now, look, you've got people you've got one guy that eats 30 bananas a day. It doesn't mean everyone should be doing that, but he's found what works for him. I mean, no one can say it doesn't work for him because he's like 80 or 90 years old, out there doing jet skiing, water skiing, and he's 89 years old or something. So it's really working for him. So just experiment, guys. Go vegan, see how you feel. When I was vegan, had more energy, my skin cleared up, I could think clearer. But after a while, my sex drive went. My ability to perform in the gym wasn't great. I don't know, whatever it is, my sleep after a while wasn't good. And when I started having too much, when I started changing to meats and proteins, I put some more muscle mass on. My performance went up in the gym, but my skin maybe wasn't as great. So you've got to find that balance, and you've got to find what works for you, and that's what it's all about, guys. So, as I said before, there's only one rule, and that's the truth. And what's the truth? The truth is what works for you. Someone out there could thrive on being a vegan. Others will not, and they'll have to. I know some people have cured themselves with cancer, etc., just eating fat and meat. So it depends on what works for you, okay, guys? And this may change as you get healthier and as your internal environment changes. You need to test these things out, because what I know people want to say again, cure themselves with cancer with being a vegan diet, and it's the same thing that caused cancer down the line, because they were missing essential vitamins and nutrients and minerals that you can only get from meat. There's some things you can play around with if you're a vegan to try and do this without meat, and I get the whole point of being a vegan if you don't like to hurt animals and you don't want to see animals suffer, but I get that. That's why you want to go to an organic farm, go and see how they rear their cattle with love, etc. And at the end of the day, there's only one animal on this planet that can affect the earth and make it a better place, with consciousness and ability to go out there and do good in the world, and that's us, human. And if me eating meat makes me healthier and allows me to help other people and to put my best self out into the world, that's what I'm going to do. Because it's no good me saving a few animals and then making myself ill. Because I know I don't eat that much meat at all when it comes down to it, but I eat the right amount for me. And this chops and changes as the year goes on, and winter and summer are very different. Obviously, you're generally going to put a little bit on maybe a little bit of fat on in the winter, because your body's saving and it goes into storage mode. And in summer you get leaner because obviously the sun's out. You probably have more salads, etc. And in the winter your body's resting. You have obviously with winter you get summer, with hot you get cold, with up you get down. With yin you get yang, and that's what happens with the seasons. So you need to understand that, guys. Understand how your hormones work. And I don't care if we're in 2017, coming into 2018, you've got Netflix and Wi-Fi. You can't change millions of years of genetics. That's why mothers, for example, are always going to be more nurturing than we are. But anyway, gone off on a tangent. All I wanted to say, guys, really, I could go and talk about this all day long, and we talk about this quite a lot on my podcast with different guests. But yeah, do what works for you. You need to work it out, experiment, and if you don't know where to start, then hit someone up like myself or anyone else out there that you resonate with, and they'll help you do this. If you've got a chronic illness, etc., obviously we'll help you, and whoever else will help you, because I know there's information overload out there, guys, and people don't know where to start. That's a big thing. So if you need help, give us a shout. Otherwise, go out there and experiment, and just see how things feel on you. And because the best, as I say, prevention, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? So instead of getting ill and doing this, do it now and start to live your life. It doesn't mean you can't have fun, you can't enjoy your Christmas. Of course you can, but there's certain protocols and practices you put into place around that, what we do with our clients, that mean that you can enjoy your foods and you don't feel guilty, etc. And they don't have the damaging effects. The food don't have damaging effects like they would if you didn't do these things. Lots of practice and protocols. But anyway, once again, I digress. Don't believe the dogma, guys, okay? Go and experiment yourself. I know we live in a world where people want to believe something that's written down or a scientific study that's been done rather than their own body. But at one point along the line, your brain's got to kick in. And if someone's saying to you, you need to be eating this vegetable or this whatever, this better meat, and you eat it and you feel terrible, but you keep on eating it because a bit of paper tells you to eat it, or because some guru out there tells you to eat it, even though that guru's maybe have an ancestry from India where they don't eat that much meat and no wonder they do well on it but you don't, then maybe it's time to start thinking, maybe my body's actually trying to tell me something. When I feel sluggish and tired and I get headaches, or when I have got a low sex drive, or when my skin's bad, or when I don't feel like I can get in the gym, or when I'm moody and I'm anxious and depressed. These are all telltale signs, guys, okay? So, anyway, once again, don't believe the dogma. There's only one truth, and that's do what works and do what works for you. And once you start to do that and start to experiment, you'll understand the truth is The truth is only what works for you. Hey guys, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, enjoy your Christmas. I'll speak to you soon. Ryan Martin from Revive. Oh, Ryan Martin from Revive out. Have a good day, guys. Bye.